Namaste everyone, welcome back. So we'll begin. Yes, hello Niveditha.
Hi, Vaibhav.
So we'll have great. So it's 3 p.m. and we are halfway through, and we have listened 6 speakers so far, and now we have our seventh speaker of our event. She evolves her journey to new creation. So let me give a little bit brief about the event and the organizer before I introduce Niveditha ma'am to you all. So She Evolves is basically just a second. Yeah. So She Evolves is our attempt to really bring forth the new creation through the lens and the work of women's and empowerment. Uh, it's one of the flagship program of ISTRUS. ISTRUS was founded by Mr. Ento Vincent in late 90s and running from more than 20 years now. And now it has been run by Uma and Arul. Apart from She Evolves, we have other flagship programs. One of them is headed by Niveditha, which is Youth Above 60. And then we have something around education, healing, about nature, and all through these different projects we are trying to see how we can nurture different qualities, the essences, and build up a future, a new creation from the core, from the inner shifts within. Today, on the occasion of Women's Day, we have a special program where we are talking and listening from 12 beautiful women through their journeys, and how through the simplicity with the living that ordinary life just like all of us, what are those things which have allowed them to blossom forth in this, and what new creations they have brought into the world. So with us we have Niveditha Ramaratnam. I would not introduce much about her because her work would speak a lot today, and I would like to spare a time from different activities she's going to do it, but still a little bit about her. She has specially worked with the special need children, particularly mentally retarded kids, and she has used theater arts as her tool to communicate with them, the tool for transformation and healing. So theater arts, something which she wanted to pursue, came to her differently. So we'd like to know more about that. What is this theater arts? How it can be used as a modality, as a tool for one's own self-development. She has explored all the different modalities one can explore through theater arts. She enjoys reading ancient scriptures, singing, dancing, and painting, creating different mandalas, and many more things. So without waiting, I hand over to you, Niveditha, to share your journey, little bit of your stories with all of us.
Thank you, Vaibhav. And hi to all. Can I see everybody? It will be nice if I can see everyone. If you all can just turn your videos on. Because theatre arts is all about connecting with each other and being with each other. So if it's possible, it would be lovely if you can turn on your videos. Yes. Thank you so much. And so it's very interesting that I've been selected to be a part of this She Evolves project. Because it just struck me that I have been right from my childhood, I have been very, very highly connected to my womanhood. I have been very highly identified with my womanhood. That I am a woman, I am a girl, I am a woman, I am a she. So I was on a high, being very deeply connected with this aspect of being a woman. But life has its own way of taking you. And then I realized that evolution happened in my life, and it has brought me to a stage now where I'm no longer identified with myself as being a woman. Okay? I have come to a neutral space. So I still dress like a woman. I still love my saris. I still love my jimikis. I still love malipu. I still love my anklets. I still love all of that. I still love everything that we do to make ourselves look pretty as a woman. Nothing has changed. But the identity that I am a woman, that has somehow, kind of diminished, and it's crossed over, and it has brought me to a space that I'm just this being who has been given this form to do God's own work. God's own work, anything. Like the great Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati said that Yadanum Toril Puruvom Yavadum Aval Torile Shakti in Torile, meaning to say, let us do some job, something, because everything is hers. So what you do is really hers, and so whatever you do is meant for you to be done. So it's very interesting that I'm part of She Evolves, because I have evolved from that and I've come here, and I'm very happy to be part of this. So what would you like to hear from me, actually? Let me ask you all what you all would like to hear from me. I'll be very happy to answer anything about theatre arts. What would you like to hear?
So you just spoke about this neutral space you are now into. If you can share how that transition came and what is this neutral space, even if you can give us some experience through some activities maybe later on or whenever you feel comfortable.
Sure. So theatre arts came into my life quite late. Probably when I was in my late 30s is when I was introduced to theatre arts, when I had joined my organization to work with people with special needs. Not just children, we had adults, geriatrics, the entire spectrum of people with special needs we had, and we worked with theatre arts as a methodology. I've always liked music. Like Vaibhav said, I love to sing, I love to dance. At the smallest opportunity, I will get up and dance as a child. That's what I was told later on by my parents, that somebody just had to say, dance Adriya, yes, I'm the first one to do something, I'll dance. Movement was part of me. But I wanted to pursue music, dance. I wanted to go to Shantiniketan. I wanted to study there. I wanted to join National School of Drama in Delhi. But those things didn't happen. But, it's very strange how life gives you what you so desperately want, but not in the way or in the time that you have asked for it. But in its own time, it gives you when it thinks that you're ready to accept it or ready to receive it. So that's what I think happened. See, this is all, whatever I'm sharing now is in retrospect. I'm telling you over the past so many years of processing that I'm talking to you about that now. At that point of time, no. So when I was asked by my friend to join this organization, I was quite happy because I had nothing to do. My children had gone to school, and, there was nothing left for me to do but just sitting at home and whiling away my time. So then it was a good opportunity for me. But when I did join, I realized that, what a world that theatre arts opened for me. It was a whole new world that it opened out to me. And with me, I've been in this field of theatre arts for more than 20 odd years. Now, in this long journey with theatre arts and being involved in theatre arts, that evolution from being very strongly identified as being, I'm a woman, I'm a she, I'm a girl or whatever, I'm a female. Theatre arts brought me this kind of, it was the, what shall I say? What do you call it? It was a tool. It was the triggering tool which started me off and brought me to where I am now of being in this neutral space. Now, to be a theatre art practitioner, you have to be from the space of neutrality, from the space of samasthiti. You have to be in the space of samasthiti. Because if you're not in the space of samasthiti, how would you don that role that you've been asked to take on? So you are in real life, you're a mother, you're a sister, you're a father, you're a brother, you're a friend. You're playing some role here. You're a manager, you're a boss, you're an employee. And then suddenly you're asked to don some other role. You can't just simply jump from this and dive deeply into that other role. You have to get out of this role, get into the space of neutrality, bring yourself to the space of neutrality, and then get into that new role that has been offered to you. Because only from the space of neutrality can you even create something for that role. So this is an important, very, very important lesson that I got from theatre arts. Just practicing theatre arts day in and day out with children and adults with mental retardation. This is what, because every day is a challenging day. Every day is a new day with those kids. You can go with your lesson plan, you can plan for the day, you'll go well prepared for the day. But there is no guarantee that your day will go that way. Because anything can happen. And then immediately you have to get out of this role, adapt, come to neutrality, adapt, and create something new for that session. So that's what neutrality has given me. I don't know if I've answered sufficiently, Vaibhav, to your question.
Yes, yes. You are building it up, the answer. It's not complete yet. I am not contented.
Okay.
So I'm just picking up two words.
Okay.
So you talked about this role-playing part. Like in the theater, we play different characters in a role. In our life also, we do that. So how we can bring that tools of theater arts into this life and play our role to our best capacity. So if you can share something or...
Yeah. So just to give you all an idea of, I keep saying theater arts, you're hearing this term theater arts, and I'm sure many of you know what it is, but let me just, so the main components of theater arts are movement, then there is music, then there is drama, and there is arts and crafts. And finally, the fifth one is the sahridaya, or the connect with the audience. I'm using the word audience. You can translate it to with whomever you're practicing the theater art, the connect with that person. Okay, so these are the basic components. This is the basic components of theater arts, and this I'm talking about. This is basically what the director of my organization, Dr. Ambika Kameshwar, in her research, she had codified theater arts based on the Natya Shastra, Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. So based on that, this was codified, and these are the 4 pillars of that. Okay. So when you look at it, if I take movement in real life, now how do can I look at theater arts separately and leave my life separately? No. Life and theater are not apart. Okay. Because theater mimics life. Whatever you see and experience in life is what you can express through theater. Okay. So now how do you take these components and make it your own in your life? Now I spoke, just to give you a small example, I spoke about Samasthiti. Now, Samasthiti, if there are any dancers in the group or yoga practitioners, you know what Samasthiti is. You come to that neutral space. You finish one asana, you come back to the neutral starting space, and then only you move on to the next asana. Same with dance. Even with music, it is the same. You have to come to that samam. Finally, you have to finish with that samam before you start anything else. Whatever cycle you've done, you come back to the samam and then you move on to the next. So the same way, so you come in your daily life. If there is an ongoing conversation, disagreement, let us say, with somebody in your life, wherever, home, office, anywhere. Now, one way of doing it is go on arguing, be at it and see who wins. You can go on at it. And we all know where that will lead us. Because then there is a barrage of emotions, outburst of emotions, and everything comes into play. But then if you just took a moment, stepped back, without immediately reacting to that situation, if you just stopped, if you just regained your samasthiti that is there within, because all of us have that samasthiti, all of us have that landing space, all of us have that core which is there, which is the samasthiti for us. If you can just identify and get to that samasthiti and then address that situation, it's for you to discover what will happen. Now, if you look at a play, if you actually look at a play, you see so many actors on the stage, so many props, so many things, side music is happening, light is happening, everything is happening at the same time. Right? But every actor has to know his or her samasthiti. If they didn't know their samasthiti, entries, exits, dialogues, there will be a crossfire of everything. Whether they are consciously aware of their samasthiti, that's another dialogue altogether. But I'm saying somewhere intuitively also they will feel at some level. But the trick, the practice is what you sometimes feel intuitively, it may not be there all the time, is for us to connect with and make it a practice 24/7. So,
and automatically begins the question, how do you make this 24/7?
So Uma, all of us are practicing theatre arts in our daily life. All of us. Okay, now you're nodding your head. That's a movement, right? Now, if you did it in a stylized way like this, then they will call it dance. Right? But that's movement. There is movement physically. There is movement inside of you, emotions, everything, there is movement. Okay? Is there drama? Of course, there is drama in our lives, and we have a lot of it. We have drama. Sometimes it's necessary to have that little bit of drama in our life. It adds spice and color to our life. It's necessary. For effect, it is necessary. Okay? Then, is there music in our life? Yes. Our very speech, the manner in which we speak, when we say music, immediately we don't have to think about S.P. Balasubramaniam or Lata Mangeshkar or M.S. Subbulakshmi. The very manner of speech. Speech itself is music. The way in which you speak can be music or can be noise. Arts and crafts, the way we dress up, the way we adorn our homes, our offices, the way whatever we do to liven up our life or liven up our inner being itself, all that is art and craft. So there's color, there's art, there's aesthetics. You name it and everything is there around us. So to answer your question, how do we do it 24/7? I would say it is the basic intent. You want to do it 24/7. That's the basic question everybody has to ask. And it doesn't come overnight. As we know, with all sadhanas, it's a lifetime. It's work in progress for us. So first the intent, and once the intent is clear, automatically you will pick up. Whether it is to go back to the neutral space, the samasthiti, all that, you will start going, you will start recognizing what is natural, what is true, what is inherent. You will start recognizing. But first the intent has to be there. See, the thing is with theatre arts, I can't give you texts. Maybe there are some texts existing, but it's not like notes can be given. See, theatre arts is completely experiential. Maybe we'll just do a small exercise just now, just a short exercise. If everybody can just stand up, if it's possible, wherever you are, just stand up. I don't know if you can see you can't see my feet because I've kept my camera on a higher level. But anyway, if you can stand up, or if you can't stand up, even if you're sitting, first for those who are standing up, I would like you to keep your feet together and toes facing forward. Just look down, toes facing forward. They should not be apart. And for those who are sitting, just close your eyes and just see where your weight is. So just shift and notice what happens. Now just see where your weight is when you're sitting. If you're sitting on a chair or on a bed or on the floor, when you're sitting, just see where that weight is. And then you'll notice that there will be a lopsidedness to that weight. So just gently get up and sit again and shift gently. You will see the weight shifting and transferring to the whole body. For those of you who are standing, now just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Keep your hands loosely. Don't have any tension in any part of your body. Just loose. Close your eyes. Chin slightly down. No tension in the neck or head or any other part of the body. And just see where your weight is. Do you sense a feeling of balance? Stay in that position for a few seconds. Okay, gently open your eyes. Please be seated. So for all of you who noticed where your balance is, did you have a sense of balance? If you all did, you could just...
Yes, Srinivasan.
Yes. So
That is the answer in chat. Yeah. Yes, Sumit.
that is the...
I realized I was putting more weight on my left leg. That is where my weight rested, and that's my most strained part of the body, where the knee is very heavy and not flexible like my right one. And now I realized that I'm putting all my weight on my left, and why would it not suffer?
That is a very good observation you made, Sumati. So that's when, so the similar, now we did it physically. This is the samasthiti we're talking about of the body's samasthiti. Okay. Now to answer Uma's question, how do we do it 24/7? How do we translate this practice into our daily lives? So every time it's not possible for you to come stand in samasthiti get your mind and body settled before you go and address a situation. That's not practically possible, right? But if you just even close your eyes, or if you just, no need to close, if you just pause, take that moment to connect to that samasthiti within, that's enough. To begin with, you can start by just physically doing it so that you get the hang of it. You know what it means to be in samasthiti. You know what it gives you. Like Sumati experienced. She says, I realize that my left is being strained because I'm putting all my weight in that. So when you start practicing, you start realizing the body starts communicating to you. So you start being in that space of samasthiti, and that will gradually translate into the mental samasthiti. You start physically.
I have a question. When we were discussing about theatre arts, you mentioned that theatre arts is something like a facilitating tool which is least non-invasive, like when you compare with coaching or some other guiding tools. So can you talk something about it? Like, can you
Yeah.
give us?
So theatre arts is non-invasive. Okay. Why means, see, when an individual is a practitioner of theatre arts, okay, there may be somebody who's initiating something to them or guiding them into doing something or telling them, like I did Samasthiti, can you take that position? If you take that example itself, I was the facilitator here, okay, but the entire experience was by you. It was yours, right? So I am not saying this is where your balance should be. I am not saying this is where you should shift. I'm not saying this is where you should keep your samasthiti. I'm saying you stand here and you explore where your balance is. So when I have been given this kind of freedom, leeway for me to explore by myself, I have the liberty to explore it as much as I want. Or not even. I have that freedom. So it definitely is non-invasive. It's not just with movement. You take drama, you take music, you take anything. It's all about oneself and your art, you and your body, you and your voice. See, when we think of drama, you're probably only thinking of a play. That's what we're used to, right? When we say drama, we're immediately translating it into a performance. If you could just keep that aside for some time, and if you just looked at drama as not just verbal, it's just not dialogue, it's not script alone. Drama is not just that. What about those who can't speak? There's drama happening in their life also, no? There's a lot of drama happening in their lives also. So this as a methodology, theatre art as a methodology is definitely non-invasive. Because if I am going to say, okay, now let us express anger. Can you tell me how you can express anger? Maybe we can just do that as an exercise. I want everybody to show that emotion, anger in your own way, without using any words, no sounds, just use you can use your entire body, not just your face, use your entire body, but just express anger. right? So what was your experience when I said express anger? If somebody can share. Smallest experience even, because I know it was a contrived situation. So probably you didn't feel that anger in real life, but it was a contrived situation. But what did you feel? Yeah, sorry.
No, that actually, I don't necessarily have major outward expressions of anger necessarily. That would be very loud and.
Okay. But
that was
then,
the
yeah, but then you didn't have the compulsion to express it any other way. Other ways which you have probably seen other people express it. Did you have any compulsion to express it in that way? Did you
have I done it? Have I done it? Yes. Have I done it? Yes, but not necessarily my usual method. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you didn't feel that compulsion, right? Yeah. So this is what non-invasive means. So when I'm exploring anger issues with somebody, okay, let us say I'm facilitating healing for them. So the person can express it. The person need not even express it. Through movement, he need not express it. He or she need not express it. There is an entire scope available. And it's all available only with that recipient. It's nothing to do with the facilitator. The facilitator does not say, if I'm doing art, I'm not going to say, you use only these colors to express anger, or only these colors to express love. No. I did a workshop for young children many years ago. They were all in the age bracket of 8 to 11 years old. And so then I had asked them to create a sunflower. I just said, create a sunflower. I didn't say, bring this color, nothing. I only said, create a sunflower. And there were 2-3 children who had drawn the sunflower in, one was, I think, purple, and the other was green, I think, if I remember right. It was not yellow. And as I was looking at, and then the girl who was sitting next to one of these girls who had drawn the sunflower in purple, she immediately looked at her and she said, oh my God, this is not sunflower. You have to put yellow. Sunflowers are yellow, she said. And then that child just looked at me, the one who had drawn it in purple. I said, but this is her sunflower. She has the freedom to draw it in any color. Her sunflower is purple, so we will leave it at that. So that is the freedom that theatre gives you. Whatever reason the child decided to choose purple. We have purple cabbage nowadays. Whoever thought? I have never imagined that I will eat purple cabbage today. I'm just saying. So that's the freedom that theatre arts gives you. That's how non-invasive it is. I hope I've answered your question, Priya.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you.
For me, the greatest thing to learn from you is the work you do inside your body. I hope you would share something for a group on that.
Well, I think, Arul, the work that I do within my body also stemmed from the work that I did with theatre arts. Because my complete connect with my body came from being a practitioner of theatre arts. The connect came from there. That's when I knew that I can connect with my body. My body is just not something that I bathe and clothe and feed and then, trying to make it look pretty or anything like that, but that the body had its own intelligence. That awareness, that knowledge came to me only through theatre arts and with working with people with special needs. Right? it was a very valuable, it's a very valuable lesson that I got from theatre arts and people with special needs. So my connect with my body is very deep. My body does communicate with me. I'm sure everybody's body, we all have some portions of our body communicating with us. When there is a headache, the head is telling you that there's something wrong. That's why you feel that pain. The stomach is telling you. Like for instance, Sumati, if she has a knee pain, her knee is telling her, look at my knee, look at me. Something needs to be done. Take care, attend to me. That's what the body is telling you. So, and thanks to Arul's work with natural breath, what actually, how it all transcended was from being just connected with my body, with the practice of natural breath, I was able to go at a deeper level into my body. So there were some things that I was able to sense within my body. And that was thanks to natural breath. So right now, if you ask me, it is this deep connect with the body and the natural breath, which is guiding me to whatever processes I'm currently pursuing with regards to my body. That's what is guiding me. It's still work in progress, Arun.
Yes, so also the experiences that you have, like say if there's some pain, you keep your breath there.
Yeah.
Would be, if you want to share it, I don't know if you want to share it or not, but if you share that, it may help some.
Yeah, so when there is pain and then I place my natural breath in that area, what I noticed was that the external pain is on the surface area. The pain, which is there, it is there on the surface area. But the moment I place my natural breath, I go at the level underneath that surface area, and there is absolutely no pain. There is just peace and calm at that level. So now, once I have accessed that, I still have a long way to go in that. But since I have accessed that, now my whole sadhana is about being very intimate with my various physical disorders and stuff like that. So all that is being questioned at a very deep level, because underneath this surface pain, there's absolutely no pain. And that is what is inviting me right now. That space is inviting me right now. So long way to go.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else in the audience like to ask questions? You can put it on a chat or can raise the hand and then unmute.
If nobody else has, I have a small question, or rather, if ma'am, you would like to share. Like I know, about your, I mean, your connect with Pandit Kumar Gandharva's music, or Kabir, or so many other. Like I'm a recipient in the past 1 year listening to Niveditha ma'am's, classes, sessions where she offers like a good satsang. So I'm part of it. So would you like to talk about it, especially the experience of that silence and certain things which we have observed? So maybe from your side you want to talk about how.
Again, I go back to theatre arts because that was the starting point, and that's what has brought me. That's why I'm so passionate that I'm ready to share my experience of theatre arts to anybody who's willing to take it forward, with anybody who wants to carry it forward. Because for me, it's part of my life. It's just not something that not something that I've learned and I've done. But theatre arts is something that I practice practically every day with the neutrality and everything. And this aspect of silence, again, is a very important aspect in theatre. So if I'm moving, or if I'm speaking something, if I'm delivering a dialogue even, I just can't, I can't keep talking that without, even taking a breath. I'm sorry, I'm lapsing into Tamil. Without even taking a breath, I can't just roll off, keep speaking a dialogue like Shivaji Ganeshan. So, but even Shivaji Ganeshan had to pause somewhere. There had to be a silence, because the silence is what adds beauty to the entire text, to the entire dialogue. If there was no silence, the dialogues would be, it will be just I don't know what it would be mere noise. If you actually go back and watch films, and if you listen to the dialogues, it's the silence in those dialogues is what really gets you. Similarly with music, it seems as if they're just going on singing, but if you actually listen, you can get the silences in all these songs. So Kumar Gandharva, I was, for me, Kabir was just dohes which had to be annotated in school and college, and questions to be answered based on Kabir. That was my relationship with Kabir. But it was my daughter who reintroduced me to Kabir very many years later. And then I rediscovered Kabir, and I started exploring Kabir, and I realized that I resonated deeply with whatever he spoke. And my life took on a turn with Kabir's verses, because then I started practicing, I started emulating some only, I can say, not all of what Kabir said, some of what he said, and I started practicing that. And it was at that time I was introduced to Kumar Gandharva's music. Now, Kumar Gandharva's music was just simply mind-blowing the first time I heard it, because of the silences there. What can one say about Kumar Gandharva's music? You have to listen to it to experience it. Otherwise, it's just my story, and for you all to get to Kumar Gandharva's, because it's like for me, Kumar Gandharva's music is meditative. The moment I start listening to Kumar Gandharva, immediately I go into my neutral space. The samasthiti comes naturally, because his music brings forth that. Very few musicians who are able to do that. There are. So just listening to the way, and for me, Kumar Gandharva's music, he's a great master. He's great in his profession. He's got great mastery. Nobody can doubt that. But the way he renders that music, even if it is a ragala or even Kabir or any other mystical Nirgun music, when he's rendering it, it is not coming from the intention of trying to please the audience or the listener. It is coming from the space of, he has internalized it completely within himself, and then it is that outpouring of his being. That's how I experience Kumar Gandharva's music. You just close your eyes and just listen to him. Best to listen to Kumar Gandharva is with headphones, so that you are not distracted by other stuff. So that is my relationship with Kabir and Kumar Gandharva's music.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights and taking us along with the experiential journey and connecting with our own body itself, which we So if there are no other questions, are there any?
Is there time to do a short practice or no? Short experiential practice? Yes? Okay.
Yeah, we can have one small one.
Okay.
And then
So
we can close.
just before I start, I just want to say, see, theatre arts is a sagaram, is an ocean. If you dip your feet, that's the experience you get. If you dip your fingers, that's the experience you get. If you walk in a little bit and allow the water to touch your ankles and allow it to rise up to the knees, that's also an experience. And then if you go completely into the sagaram and you go completely immerse in that, then it's a completely different experience. But what I'm saying is, theatre arts offers for everybody something. That's why it's also non-invasive, Priya, to answer your question. I don't know, I think it was Weber who asked. So that's why it's non-invasive. For everybody, there is something it will offer. It will lend itself to anything and anybody. That is the beauty of theatre arts. That is the largeness of theatre arts. It will lend itself to anybody. You don't have to worry. So that's how, when we work with children with special needs, many of them, they have cognitive impairment. They have speech impairment, hearing impairment, perception impairment, so many problems, so many difficulties, so many challenges that these children have. But then they come alive. Because we are not telling them you have to do it this way or that way. We are showing you something, you allow your body and you let your body do what it can. So having said that, if you all can just grab a piece of paper, then a pen, pencil, color pencil, whatever is there handy for you, that's fine. Yeah. So what I want you all to do is, I want you all to describe yourself taking an imagery from nature, any element from nature. Don't use words, just draw it. Anything. Anything from nature, which you feel represents you. Just draw it. Once you've done that, if you wish, you can demonstrate it through a movement, whatever you've represented. So you're just using movement to demonstrate that. Because we're not using words here, so we don't know what it is. So use your body to demonstrate that. Okay. Uma is doing something. Okay, Vaibhav, right? Okay, Priya. Arun, Aarti has done something. Okay, Arun, right? Anybody else? Would you like to show? If you, Subhati is doing something there. All right, super. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to think of a quality related to that imagery that you've written, which is representing you. One quality. Think of a quality. If you want, even write it down. Okay. And then I want you to do the same movement with that quality being present. The same movement with that quality. So you have to feel that quality and do that movement. Okay. Right. Super. Okay. Wonderful. Super. Now I want you to assign a tune, if possible, given this short time. Assign a tune which is representing you. This imagery, this movement, this essence that you have shown. Assign a tune to that. It's okay, you can even sing it in your mind if you don't want to sing it aloud, but yeah, but assign a tune to that. Yeah. And if you were to give it a costume, a color, arts and crafts, everything comes under arts and crafts. A costume, a color, a property, everything is that. If you want to assign that, what would it be? You can show it either through movement or you can draw it. Anything is possible.
So if it is a flower, ma'am, then there is no costume, right? Like
no color,
okay.
fragrance, smell, no smell, everything is part of art and craft.
The first myth Niveditha ma'am taught us was to get comfortable with doing all of these things in front of people. It took me a year to come to the point of, using theatre arts for every day. That used to be our biggest argument between she and me. Like, I'm yet not comfortable. She's like, no, it's part of your life. And so, yes, thank you.
And now we are witness to her evolution. She evolves. Yeah. So this is just for you. Yes, Arun? Who said?
No, just finish it.
Yeah. So this is just to give you like a small jhalak of what theatre arts, what is the possibility of theatre arts. I've just given you each of these exercises can be done extensively. Each one of them can be done extensively. Okay. And you can really feel it. You will start to feel it. Okay. So this is now again, to bring out the point of it's non-invasive, it's fun. Okay. And you are at your own liberty to do what you want within that framework. There's no pressure to do it this way or that way. You can represent it any which way because it's yours. And that is the freedom that theatre arts gives.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing, bringing insight, and more than that, making it more experiential for all of us. And 2 announcements. So we have our next sessions in a very 7-8 minutes at 4 o'clock with Gotha Haripriya. So those of you who can, please stay online with us. Also, Uma has shared a link where we are trying to collect the qualities which Niveditha ma'am just revealed to us, or what you got connected with. If you can click on that link and share the qualities of hers or from her sharing, something you learned or connected, so we can compile that and offer it back to her. It will take 1 minute. And as Arul shared in the chat, so we plan to have online sessions around theatre arts and visual parts of it. So those who are interested, please send us an email showing your interest, and then we'll take it further from there. Thank you so much for joining once again, and see you at 4. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Niveditha.
Bye. Thank you.